to be educated, but I'm so frustrated.
Hey guys, you're on the Music Mindset channel with Mr. Mindset. Now this is a story about how Led Zeppelin got banned from ever playing in Tampa, Florida again. Let me set the scene. It was June 3rd, 1977, and Tampa Stadium was alive with anticipation. Over 70,000 fans packed the venue, ready to witness the gods of rock, Led Zeppelin. But what started as a celebration of music unraveled into one of the most chaotic nights in rock history. A night that ended in riots, arrests, and a citywide ban that stands to this day. Now the gates were open at 11:30 a.m. and fans poured in, staking out the spots near the stage under the blazing Florida sun. But y'all gonna learn about that Florida weather. By early afternoon, the arrests had already started. Fans were caught with marijuana, quaaludes, and even PCP. One woman was even seen taping a bag of weed to her ankle. She had to pay the price for that one. Florida humidity is bad enough without adding marijuana to your sweatband. Another person casually offered pills in full view of the police. What y'all thinking about, man? Yeah, you can see the tension was building, but the crowd didn't care. The excitement for Led Zeppelin was electric, so much so that fans didn't even seem fazed when security had to pry some of them off the guardrails. Man, these fans were dedicated. They were ready to scale the walls, but not for the band's music, more like to escape from the overwhelming humidity. This Florida hitting into the summertime. By 7:30 p.m., the skies darkened and lightning started flickering in the distance. Rain threatened to disrupt the night, but the crowd was ready to endure anything. Honestly, at this point, I think even the rain was getting jealous of the chaos inside the stadium. Now let me say real quick, I'm familiar with that stadium because back in the day I had a chance to play with my college marching band a couple of times. Been in that stadium a couple of times. And in the rain. And let me tell you, when it rains in that stadium, it's a complete mess. It's in the wide open, and no matter where you are, you're gonna get soaked. It rains sideways for some reason in there, you know what I mean? But anyway, now it's 8:15, and Led Zeppelin was taking the stage early, hoping to beat the storm. They open up with "The Song Remains the Same" and "Sick Again." For a moment, it seemed like the night would go off without a hitch. This could be one of their best shows. But as the band played Nobody's Fault But Mine, the rain became relentless. Water drenched the stage, soaking the instruments and pooling in the tops above. Jimmy Page later recalled that his double-neck guitar was completely soaked, making it almost impossible to play.
We started with "Song Remains the Same" and went to "Sick Again." And during that, I could feel the sort of drizzle coming on me, and it was soaking the double-neck guitar. And by the time we were doing "Nobody's Fault But Mine," it was just really pouring down.
Talk about a soggy concert experience. Just imagine you trying to rock out in the downpour while your guitar's getting a free shower. Backstage, the band's manager, Peter Grant, faced a difficult decision. The show just couldn't go on. It was just too dangerous. Rain, lightning, thunder. Peter Grant wasn't known for pulling punches, but even he knew when it was time to call it quits. I mean, it's one thing to deal with a little bit of rain, but when you're essentially playing in a thunder and lightning storm in a water park, that's another story. So Robert Plant had to address the crowd. Let's listen for a second.
I should ask you one thing, right? Bear with us, because there seems to be some water falling on the electrical equipment. So we're gonna give it a 15-minute break. Are you cool? A 15 minutes, we're gonna try it. If that is
Which is
No, Mr. Plant, that ain't gonna cut it. These people were desperate to hear more of y'all music. But the minutes dragged on, the rain continued, and the band never returned. And at 9:15, the official announcement came over the loudspeakers. The concert was canceled. Fans were told to hold on to their ticket stubs for a possible rain date. They were kind of looking at the next day. But that's when all hell broke loose.
Well, as concert goers sat down for the show last night, it began to rain. And when the concert was discontinued, a riot broke out.
It erupted after rain and lightning forced the rock band off the stage. A crowd of 70,000 started getting wild even after they were told their tickets were still good and would be honored tonight. Police say at least 4,000 people were involved in the melee. 24 people were arrested.
This wasn't a rain delay, this was rock and roll Armageddon. Man, the crowd erupted into chaos. Fans stormed the stage, throwing bottles and rocks at the police and security. Riot police moved in with the batons, trying to control the growing violence. Inside the stadium, debris rained down on officers, injuring several of them. And it was reported that even one officer was even attacked with a karate kick by an enraged fan. Honestly, you'd be seeing viral videos of a Florida man taking on a riot cop in a full-on kung fu battle. Now, the chaos wasn't confined to just the stadium. Some fans got bold and even followed Led Zeppelin's limousine as they fled the scene. Jason Bonham, John Bonham's young son, later described the terror of the moment. He said it was like seeing a riot running towards you. Even when they got to the airport, which was only a short distance from the stadium, fans showed up and tried to break through the fences as the band boarded their plane. Man, at this point, it felt like a full-on action movie. One minute they're on stage trying to rock out, now the next they're fleeing for their lives. But eventually the Zeppelin crew was able to finally jump on that plane to Miami for a short vacation before they were supposed to appear in Madison Square Garden for the next show. But back to Tampa. By 10 p.m., the rain had stopped, but the violence hadn't. Police made dozens of arrests and cleared the stadium in a scene described as brutal and frightening by the crew members. The once ecstatic crowd had been reduced to anger, confusion, and shattered dreams. I mean, when you're being escorted out by riot police, your dreams of seeing your favorite band are probably splashed on the pavement along with that rain.
I mean, I know about the thunderstorm and everything, and they canceled the concert and all. Then why all of a sudden council just says no second show and you had a rain tape? And that
First of all, you see, you've got to take the circumstances of the whole event into account. It's just really pouring down. But the trouble was the wind was blowing our way. And there were so many possibilities of, real electrical disasters.
Sure.
Well, it was just impossible. It's just impossible. And apparently the next night, which was the main date, also rained, so.
And yeah, you know it. The aftermath and the consequences were swift and powerful. Tampa's mayor declared that Led Zeppelin would never perform in the city again, saying we have to protect our citizens. It did leave a little caveat. Led Zeppelin would have to bring its own military or security force with them if they were ever going to play anywhere near Tampa Stadium. Plans for a rescheduled concert were scrapped, and the ban effectively became permanent. I guess the mayor figured it was easier to ban the band than to clean up a stage full of wet guitars and flying frisbees. To this day, Led Zeppelin's 1977 Tampa show, Riot, is remembered as one of the most infamous moments in rock history. And there's been a lot of moments. It was a night that started with so much promise and ended in disaster. Who knew that a rainy day could turn into one of the most iconic rock failures of all time? Jeez, it looked kind of rough. And if it was that bad, can you blame Tampa for banning the band? What do you think? Should Led Zeppelin have tried harder to finish the show? Or was the storm too much to handle? I personally know that as a band, you can only do so much. You can't beat Mother Nature. Y'all remember that old saying in that commercial?
It's not nice to fool Mother Nature.
Anyway, Led Zeppelin will always be rock gods in the music game regardless. Oh, by the way, before I forget, do you want to know how much the price of these concert tickets to this chaos and these arrests were? It was $10. $10 freaking dollars. Can you imagine going to jail for a $10 ticket? Well, I guess it was a principle. Yeah, at the time, guys, I think I was in middle school and heard something about that, you know what I mean? It didn't mean that much to me at that time, but when I look back, man, knowing what I know about Tampa Stadium now, that must have been a crazy night. All right, y'all, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you love uncovering the drama behind music's greatest moment, don't forget to do the things you know how to do to support this channel. And make sure you come back to the Music Mindset channel for more. I'm Mr. Mindset. I'm going to check you guys out in the next one. Thanks.